really have a presentation prepared per se, but I want to share something we've been working on for the past few months. So as I've heard today in the Discord, I think some of the people might have actually already used Defysaver. Let me share my screen here, and I'll get the rest of you acquainted. All right. Right. So Defysaver is basically a DeFi management app. It started off way back in, I think, late 2018, early 2019, but it was basically maker management, sort of a maker CDP management app. And like one of the main features was like basically having this one-click leveraging of your position, where you would just basically let the user, we'd let the user sort of borrow DAI, swap it for more collateral, and deposit it back, making the sort of leveraging experience more safe, because you would do it in a single transaction, and simultaneously making it easier and just reducing the complexity overall of the whole sort of protocol. And ever since then, we've been sort of at the midpoint between platform creators like Maker, Compound, Aave, and Reflexer as of recently, and the end users, with the aim of sort of reducing the complexity and just increasing the overall security, safety, transparency of what the user is doing, and just sort of providing this additional value in that way. So I guess with that in mind, we've sort of just continued creating in that direction. And we have this cool tool that's sort of the idea is to enable, actually, I mean, you've heard the money Legos metaphor plenty of times already, so I don't think I have to sort of explain it. Right, so in order to show you the recipe creator, I'm just gonna show you one more feature that we've been using internally, but actually we're now working on sort of sharing with the users, because we've just realized it makes perfect sense. So I'm going to enter this simulation mode, and basically what that's going to do is just going to create a fork of the mainnet for me, and enter this whole simulation mode where I'll have 100 ETH, and I'll be able to sort of play around as I see fit, without actually sort of deploy, without actually sending any transactions to the actual mainnet. So this is available for like my wallet, and just sort of for users that don't yet have a wallet. So the idea is to sort of lower the entrance barrier as much as possible. So I'm right now in the simulation mode. All of this is super early stuff, and some of it is probably going to break. So I guess I just have that in mind, and I'm sorry if it does. But right now I'm in simulation mode. You have this green hue in the background, just noting that you're like inside a simulation. I have this preset balance on this random account. So the actual idea is, you've probably heard of this before. I have all these sort of Legos from all the different protocols, including flash loans, just buying and selling, swapping, just the basic, platforms. And we're just going to let the user create specific complex transactions that fit their needs. So, for example, I have this compound position that has this leftover debt, but it's just like a very small debt. And I have a bunch of collateral that I want to withdraw, and it's going to be like, it might end up being like 2 transactions, 3 if I have to swap it first. And it's, well, maybe actually, I'll just show you with an example. We can just try creating a leveraged position on Aave, for example. So I have 100 ETH, and let's say I want to leverage 10 of my ETH, but I just want to do it in a single transaction. So some of you might already know how this is done using flash loans, and for the less developer-oriented users out there, this is going to be like a super quick intro. So I'm going to make a flash loan of, let's say, 10,000 DAI. I'll just show it. I'll just walk you step by step, so you can see. I hope you can see this. So I have a balance of 10,000 DAI on my recipe. You can think of the recipe balance as a sort of a temporary balance. And then I have a negative balance, obviously, at depth on dydx because I flash borrowed 10,000 DAI. So what I want to do is, first off, I want to sell the borrowed DAI for ETH. And I'm just going to try to obviously sell that for ETH. I'm going to get around 5.5 ETH. Just going to use the recipe balance. And so yeah, right now, after this step, I obviously have like around 5.5 ETH and no DAI. You can also see like the final state actually at the end of the recipe. So this part is interesting. I'm going to supply collateral to Aave, but since this is a sell, it's an on-chain exchange, I'm never quite sure how much I'm going to get. So that's sort of been an issue for like existing implementations whenever you're trying to do something like that. So what we've done is we've created a way for you to like actually use the output of the previous function as the input for this one. So basically, I have a output of 5.5 ETH in the action number 2, and in action number 3, I'm using that as input here and basically supplying that ETH. So how much ever I get, if I get a 3% slippage or a 0% slippage, I'm guaranteed to not have any leftover on my sort of temporary balance. So I'm just going to deposit all of it. And I'm just going to deposit like an extra, let's say 10 ETH from my wallet. I'm just going to enter the amount. And you can see I should have around 15.5 ETH of collateral deposited in Aave. And I can add also, well, I have to add because as you can see, I still have a negative balance here on the DYDX sort of flash loan contract. So what I'm going to do is borrow the DAI. Yeah, after I borrow 10,000, I can actually pick it from here as well. So you can just use this output sort of as the input of the borrow. So that way, if you change the input here, so you can change this to 12,000 or like 9,000, whatever your target ratio is, and it will automatically change here. I'm actually going to try that just to show you. So my current ratio rate like this would be like around 200. This is my collateralization ratio. So if I change it to like 8,000, this should, right, because I didn't use this. And yeah, so this automatically changed to 8,000. This automatically changed to like 4.5. I'm just supplying 4.5 ETH here. And my ratio is actually increased because I have less debt now. Right, so right now after this borrow, I have like 8,000 DAI in my wallet. And I'm just gonna, I have this suggestion here to sort of pay back. But I'm actually gonna have to just do this, and this should work like this. And you can see I finally have this, so I've deposited 10 ETH from my wallet, and I have this Aave position which has around 14, 15 ETH and a depth of 8,000. So I've basically created a leveraged Aave position in a single transaction. Right, and you can see like the final state here. So I'm going to try to execute this. This is all being executed on a fork, and hopefully it will work. Right, or maybe not, I guess. That actually might be because I don't have a smart wallet. This is what I was actually setting up for earlier. But if you just give me a second to sort of create it. This is, again, super early stuff, so I do apologize for like the delay.
Yeah, thank you very much for showing us this. It's very helpful to see it live in action.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
You're doing great. Thank you.
Yeah, I have a few more things to come here, and it because it should be, if I just reload my page here, actually the recipe state is saved. And you can sort of share this link with anyone to basically share recipes. Just give it a second and it will load up. We have our position here, and if I execute it, hopefully it will execute. And yeah, there we go. So if I go to my portfolio now, hopefully I'll. There we go. So if I open it, you can then just have it live within a few weeks. We're waiting for some audits internally, and yeah, I'd love to hear any feedback or hear any tests if you can, if you wanna. Yeah,
I think that it's great to see this in action and kind of see just like how low code the recipes are. It really is inviting for people to kind of take control of that power, and I think that you've done a great job of making it less scary and inviting to people.
right.
Is there any education or marketing that you guys have done to try and get people to understand them from this? Is there like a playground that people can walk through to set up basic recipes?
Yeah, we've so this is like super early stuff. This is actually the first time we're doing a demo of this ever, because this is just this has been in development for the last few months, I want to say, and we have a lot of stuff coming up. As with our previous features, we have really strong sort of user support. We have a very active Discord, and the whole community is engaged, so to speak. And shout out to the Discord folks if any of them are listening or watching. And regarding the actual recipe creator, we are planning a bunch of stuff. We're gonna have we're obviously gonna have detailed docs. We're gonna have a bunch of examples, sort of pre-made recipes, and I mean, a lot of it is just yet to come. We've heard some feedback from users, what they'd like to see. We've been doing user testing, and we've sort of been preparing some example recipes internally and just using the tool as it is to sort of see what makes sense for the users and sort of what it would actually be used for. So all these recipes are basically something that up until this point has been done by just using specialized contracts. So back in early 2019, we just basically had like contracts that were like specifically for I can't show it on this account, for like boost and repay. So you would just basically have a contract that just does one recipe, and then we sort of expanded on creating automatic leverage position and automatically leverage position. So you would like create, as I showed, like a leverage position in one transaction. Then we expanded to like some other custom stuff that just like the most of the users needed or wanted. So for example, just automatic one transaction comp mining, where you could just withdraw your comp from Compound and either supply it back or swap it and then supply it, or just swap it and withdraw it. And we've sort of been doing these recipes for I want to say 2 years, and we've just been like I guess it's just a natural progression of that. I think we're fairly in touch with the user base in the community, and although we are always looking for like user testers, so feel free to join the Discord and I guess tell us what you'd like to see.
One of the key things that I see with the Defysaver is that you're integrating, other communities, and that really plays to what we said in the panel, is that the next wave of DeFi isn't going to be like direct DeFi. It's going to be other protocols integrating.
Right.
What's one of the ways? Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of it has been already said. I think there was a great keynote earlier today, and the guys have just said a lot of what I would have said anyway, just regarding the sort of importance of just user experience and like the integration. I mean, but we all know this. Like we know that we've heard the metaphor so many times, and I think it's just we're very aware of the importance. Yeah, and then just looking back to what I think Mark said regarding just the transaction prices, the gas prices, the sort of user onboarding, just the barricade of price, and just like the availability is just something we're also thinking about. Just constantly talking to sort of protocol providers, protocol creators regarding L2 integrations and development. That is something we also have in mind and are looking into. Yeah, you were gonna ask. I think I interrupted you.
Yeah, I was gonna ask how you select kind of communities that or protocols that you want to engage with the Defysaver.
Right. Yeah, that's a fair question. So we sort of try to, as I said probably numerous times, we try to sort of create a brand of trust around Defysaver, because I mean we are Defysaver at the end of the day. So we sort of try to do the due diligence instead of the users. We just sort of try to integrate. What I'm saying is we don't want to have anything on our platform that we're personally not certain in. We're not like sure is safe and it works, and then it's just like a safe investment opportunity. So I can't say that we have a formal process, but we are definitely sort of we always vet sort of the platforms we integrate.
Great. Yeah, I think that curation process and sticking with what you know and things that you're confident in is great.
Right.
I also think that what you guys are doing speaks a lot to education and how making it easier and more approachable.
Yeah, I mean it's such a nice place to be, because it's just like the technology is just so inspiring, and we're just trying to make it more accessible to users, and it's just like it's a very pretty place to be.
What are some of the common questions that you guys have to answer all the time about Defysaver, and that would save your headache if people knew?
Right. I mean, other than the sort of basic, I guess, how to make a CDP, and what is this? What does this do? We've just been having a lot of, I guess, gas fee related questions and issues. I mean, we've had users. I think somebody said already today, like, if you don't have a 5-figure position, like DeFi is currently not for you. And it's not like I personally had a CDP, like a year from now or like a year and a half from now. and you know, it was like a 1 or 2 or 3,000 DAI CDP. You know, it was just fine. You know, you could boost it for like, I don't know, $50 worth of ETH at the time. And now it's just like these, you have these crazy expensive transactions. I mean, just the transaction I made earlier is just like, I think around $1,000 of ETH. And we've had a lot of confusion. You know, I created like a CDP and it cost me this much, and like what happened? Or like we have this automation service and it's just like become an issue for the users because like they get sort of they get repaid, they get like saved from liquidation, but it's also at the same time it's at that point so expensive for them. It's just like it's creating this. But like I think those are like problems that are like we all know at this point. I think we're all sort of accustomed to them. We've gotten accustomed, at least in the previous few months. I mean, just looking at the gas price now, it's just around 200. It's just a ridiculous amount. Right. I'm not sure if that answers your question. I think yeah, it's just like we've also I have to say in the especially in the last, I want to say 6 months, we've had such a large number of newcomers to DeFi joining the Discord and, you know, pinging our customer support and just pinging the chat here, and just a huge number of new users. And it's inspiring, but it's also, you know, scary because, you know, you're seeing such huge growth and we're just fighting it and just trying to make the product good. Yeah, I guess I'm not sure if I covered your question.
No, I mean that's okay. I mean, it's more important to hear your feedback and your honest answer and kind of where we're going than to get my direct questions answered. It's more important that we kind of have a discussion. So I think one of the key things is with new users is education, and I think you definitely have gone a long way towards education and making things easier to understand.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And it's
Defysaver.
Yeah. Yes,
Defysaver also make it safer for people.
Yeah, I mean, I want to say I want to say yes. I really want to. That's what people have been telling us. You know, we've had like it's our favorite tweet and it's our favorite message to receive. And when people say like, "Oh, Defysaver helps me sleep," and it's just such a nice sentiment. And yeah, I mean, education is something we've thought about a lot with this whole thing. We've sort of tried to make all the actions as simple as possible to use, and sort of, I mean, this is all going to be available as an SDK for like developers, but that's just such a small percentage of users, and it's just like we've tried to, with this UI, we've just tried to abstract all the complexity away from, as much as possible of the complexity away from the contract side and the sort of estimation. Even with this simulation mode, the idea was just sort of, I mean, you can read all you want, but if you like, unless you try it and you see what actually happened, and that's just the best way to learn, I guess. And we've sort of tried to apply this principle throughout the whole app. When like we've just tried to sort of show you what's gonna happen before you actually do it. So like, if I enter an amount here and if I say I want to withdraw 1 ETH, this should like yeah, I'm not sure what is going on here, but basically right, okay, so something is going on in the background, but let's say hopefully Compound will work. Yeah, okay, we have some stuff obviously going on in the background, and wait, if I switch here, okay. Oh. Okay, I guess not. But well, actually, in the actual app, whenever you sort of do something, whenever you sort of enter an amount, the idea is to sort of show you the immediate value. to show you the immediate value of what's about to happen. So when you say I want to supply 1E, and immediately I can see, so okay, my supply balance is going to be 1.1800, and if I turn on as collateral, I'll have a borrow limit, which isn't shown here because it's not collateral yet, and I'm not on my smart wallet. And sort of if I partially repay my debt, so if I enter anything anywhere, we'll sort of show the after values. We'll just sort of let the user be certain of what's going to happen ahead of time without actually sending the transaction and doing something that's permanent. And that's just sort of the philosophy of we try to incorporate in everything we do.
If I switch gears a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
One of the other things that I've noticed with the Web3 communities
Mm-hmm.
is that we're very kind of siloed in our communities. So the DeFi people don't really speak to the NFT people as much. The NFT people
Right.
don't speak to the DAO people as much. I think in this next year, there's going to be a lot more crossover between all of the communities.
Right.
Are there any kind of NFTs that you're really into or projects that you like
Right. I
in
think,
NFT
yeah.
space?
Yeah, I mean, I think we were personally like, because Defysaver is like a project of Decenter, which is like this whole team of a few people that just like came together and did some R&D work basically for the past few years. And we had this NFT project. I think we were just like maybe too early, I guess. This was like back in 2018. We just made this sort of whole NFT website. This is like a plug, but I didn't actually anticipate this. But this was like this whole NFT marketplace where you can like sort of generate guaranteeably unique cryptographic. Basically, it's a collage of different elements from asset packs, and then you would like basically have all these sort of NFTs that are like basically an image on IPFS, and then you can like obviously just all the things you do with NFTs, like sell them, buy them, trade them, create them. But it was very interesting. They're like, because they're like, you have this composer. Hopefully I can get it to work at this point because it's right. So you have all these asset packs. I'm just gonna pick the old ones, so to speak. And then you sort of have this composer here that sort of creates these randomized images, and then you can like submit them because it's like based on a seed. You can submit the seed to the chain, and it's like provable that your seed is unique and that you created it at this point, and it's all sort of whenever you open the graphic, it's sort of created from scratch. It's sort of generated again. So it's all in this gallery. But this was like in 2018. It was sort of created as this interesting experiment because that's like when NFTs and like ERC 721 was just like getting started, I guess, and it was just like, I guess I don't know. That's sort of one of my favorite projects that we did.
Yeah, that's amazing. It reminds me very much of like async art, especially with like these different asset layers that you can control. So
Yeah.
I think it sounds like it was definitely ahead of its time. And as we say like earlier, it's all about kind of marketing and the education of the market so that they know about things.
Yeah, exactly.
Is this a project that might revive sometime soon, or should we start making some asset packs on cryptographics?
I'd really want to see it take off. The team is currently very busy with Defysaver, obviously. But yeah, I would really like to find some time for some of us from the team to sort of revive it, get it up to date, and sort of let the people use it. I mean, it's out there, it's working. It's just hasn't gotten the push that it needs, I guess. It's live now.
I'm so happy that I asked you about NFTs.
Yeah.
And it's great to see a team working on both sides.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
All right, I'll stick around in the Discord. If
bring on
anybody
our next person. Thank you so much.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Right. Yeah, so I'll just stick around in the Discord, and I'll be here if anybody has any sort of questions or recipes they want to discuss. And yeah, thanks for having me. Oh, I think we lost some connection. Okay.
With the recipe builder and oh yeah, it looks like my bars are red.
Okay.
Perfect timing, of course.
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah.
able to hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. So I was just saying thank you so much for being part of both of the NFTs and DeFi and showing us more of a Defysaver today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And as I said, I'm not sure if I cut out too. I'll be in the Discord, so if anybody wants to hit me up, discuss any recipes. All right, thanks.